Space Jelly reviews here. Today I'm going to be reviewing I think it's just the Marvel Legends Thanos. It's like the comic book Thanos. I wanted to show all the accessories with him in the first shot because we're going to talk about it, but first I'm going to measure him. He stands at 7.5 inches, like exactly 7.5 inches, and that's almost 19.5 centimeters. And we'll do a comparison really quick. Talk about this soon. This is Thanos next to Hercules. Bring out another. This is Thanos next to the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And the DC Multiverse Azrael. And the last one, it's Lobo. So I don't know about the scaling too much. I don't know how tall Thanos is supposed to be, but I think he's a little bit short. I think he's wide enough, but I think he's his height is not as tall as he should be. But instead of the aesthetics first, I did want to talk about his accessories. He comes with a snapping finger hand in the box with all the Infinity Stones. He comes with this grabbing hand in the box with all the Infinity Stones. Let me focus on it. And then he also comes with, this is his other fist hand, and then he comes with this old Thanos head. But I also wanted to do this first because he also comes with this, move him out of the way, he comes with this backdrop piece. And I wanted to mention it because in the promotional images, this is like promoted. And I think it's very silly because I don't think it's really too hard to make a plastic stand like this. Toy Biz has done it before, and I'm pretty sure that Hasbro has also done this before. And this was a deluxe figure, so I don't know why they couldn't just throw in a cheap stand. I would have preferred that instead of a cardboard cutout. I don't really know how you're supposed to display him with this at all. But I think it's just really stupid. So those are his accessories. He only has accessories for his left hand too, nothing for his right hand. He only has a fist hand. But I guess it's everything you need. So for the aesthetics, I'm gonna bring him in closer. I'm gonna look at the head. He looks decent. He looks like it's almost like he looks exactly like the box art. I'm pretty sure that's because they actually get artists to make the box art based on the action figure. He has molded gold, shiny gold on his fists and these parts, but he has painted gold over here and nowhere else actually. Only on his torso does he have the painted gold, which looks better than this gold, but I guess it matches good enough. I mean, he also has it on his head. And not on this head. This one is molded gold. This one is painted gold. The heads look decent. I think this head looks much better because the sculpt is a little bit more solid. This one, his teeth are a little bit weird. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter too much. The proportioning is fine, but like I said, he's not really tall enough. But I guess he looks like how he's supposed to in terms of width. If they just scaled him up a little bit more, I think it would be better. And the paint, I would like it if the gold was painted everywhere where there's gold, but I guess they don't have to. It does work, but this would have looked much better than the molded swirly plastic gold. You can see if you look at it, the molded plastic gold has swirls in it, but overall decent enough. So with articulation, she does have a double ball peg neck. Let me just focus on it. He has a double ball peg neck, but he doesn't really get much range out of it. Not really anything, because the ball is not shallow enough. It's too deep. So when you go to articulate it, he can tilt good, he can look up good, but he can't look down. And for some guy and someone who's bigger, you would expect him to be able to look down, but you can't really do that, which is a bummer. He has ball hinge shoulders, don't really go up to 90. They can go around, but they bend his shoulder pads. He has a bicep swivel, single jointed elbow like you saw, but it also rotates, but he doesn't really get much range at all. So that's all you're going to be getting out of him. Only that much bend. You can't force it more. You can't really stress it more than this. He has hinge and rotation at his hands. He has an ab crunch. He can arc back. He can't really crunch forward too much, but he can. It's decent enough. Rotation at the waist. His legs go up. Decent for a big guy. They don't really go back at all. His legs go out pretty good. Thigh swivel. He has pinless double jointed knees. Top joint is kind of loose on this one. Not too loose. The bottom joint is very tight though, so it might be hard to move him. Double jointed knees. Not really the best looking joints, but it should be alright. They're functional. No boot swivel. Ankles go down. They go up pretty far, and his ankles pivot. So I don't know. The articulation isn't that great. The arms are kind of limited, and the head is too limited. The legs are decent, but for someone who's bigger, you definitely want him to look down on people. He kind of has this thing where he's just always looking up, unless you crunch him forward more. But I don't know, it just depends on how you want to pose him. You can probably fudge characters in if you do perspective shots, but I don't know. He would be better if he was taller, if he had more painted details, and if the articulation in the head alone, if it was just the head alone having more articulation, it'd be better. I can live with the arms not being super posable. It's posable enough to get him into a snapping pose. So yeah, overall he's decent for the price. He's not super expensive, but he is a deluxe figure, so it depends on if you want to buy him or not. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.